Meanwhile, the Democrats, who never let a crisis go to waste, are using the storm to push their multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure bill.
Woe is us if we don't recognize these changes are due to climate change. Woe is us if we don't do something about it quickly.
We have to continue investments in infrastructure, working in partnership with our federal government.
The federal money to really, that's the game changer in terms of building the resilient infrastructure we need.
What we're seeing is we're going to need more than we ever possibly imagined. Talking not billions, tens of billions, even hundreds of billions to really be able to make people safe.
Well, here now to react, Steve Hilton, host of The Next Revolution, on Sundays, 9 p.m. We know that this is serious and we want people to be helped. But what we also know is that this spending of money, it's like water now. It's like monopoly money, spending at $3 trillion. We're going to need hundreds of billions. And we also know that money gets lost and misspent, and there's fraud to the tunes of tens and hundreds of billions. It's like a never-ending spigot. How do we approach this kind of serious problem with these kinds of grifters who are pushing the issue?
Well, Tammy, I don't think you're taking the problem seriously enough. You're not taking the climate crisis seriously. I mean, hundreds of billions is obviously, we need hundreds of trillions.
Yes, why
if we're
stop
going to
there?
Take it seriously.
You're right. Why stop at billions? We need gazillions.
And by the way, I want to get in on the act too. I want an award for bravery. I'm in my basement here in California. There's no flooding coming. There's no water. There's a little bit of smoke in the air from the wildfires. I battled my way through to talk to you tonight. So, you know, I want an award too. Look, the problem with these Democrats now is that the issue of environmental protection and conservation, which actually a lot of people can get behind, a lot of conservatives love nature. We actually know a lot more about nature than a lot of these people in Brooklyn or wherever who kind of constantly lecture us about the environment. Everyone could get behind sensible policy discussions on that, but it's gone way beyond that for these people. It is now a religious mania. Any single issue that crops up is just yet another reason for them to push that agenda. So let's just take this issue of hurricanes. If you actually look at the data, the science, they're constantly telling us to look at the data. Death and destruction from extreme weather events is going down, not up. Even specifically on hurricanes, the latest modeling of North Atlantic hurricanes shows that there will be a 5% increase in intensity, a small increase in intensity, but a 25% decrease in frequency. They're going to get less frequent. That's what the modeling shows. So what are they talking about? It's got nothing to do with the actual issue. It's to do with what they really want, which is government control of the economy, and they'll use any excuse to get it.
Well, and the climate change and that argument is vague enough to where it can be whatever they need it to be at any point, and everything can be explained as that, and it's frightening because this is a dynamic, which is a crisis, and so people begin to, you know, make different kinds of decisions because logic and reason enters less into it, and that's where they take advantage of that. I mean, this is so clearly what the use of fear to push government control to them, when, as we've seen in the last 7 months, those are the last people you want to have control your lives. Speaking of which, when it comes to fear, Gavin Newsom, we know he's coming up for the recall election, and he has now stated bluntly that if he's recalled, people are going to die. And, you know, it's COVID, it's all these other decisions. I think that that's pretty desperate. How do things look like out there for him and for the recall at this point?
Well, I mean, by the way, remember the last time the Democrats pushed this idea that when they used death threats, it was actually during the pandemic, and they said, if you gather with other people unmasked, then you're putting lives at risk. Well, guess who did that? Gavin Newsom. So I think the French Laundry. So I think we know how to seriously to take this latest death threat that they're issuing. Look, the truth is, he can't believe he's in this position. There was a very revealing interview just the other day with The Atlantic, where he was basically whining about why he's in this position. And he said, I used to be the lucky one, and then it all flipped on me, as if someone else is responsible for this, as if it's not him who actually cut the wildfire prevention budget and then lied about it, as if it's not him who failed to build any of the millions of new homes that he promised and did nothing about homelessness, as if it's not him that shut down the schools while his own kids went to private school, as if it's not him that's presided over this record poverty and inequality and crime and urban, all the things that are driving people to support the recall, particularly particularly Latinos. That's the final point I want to make. They keep saying this is a racist Republican recall. The only racial group overall in California in favor of recalling Gavin Newsom are Latinos. That's because they've been hardest hit by his stupid policies.
You know, I'll tell you, it's like the golden boy, underestimated the normals, and that's exactly what happened here. Not knowing that we have the details, we care, we're not drooling, we get this, we've got two brain cells we can rub together, but he's the golden boy. I'm supposed to have what I'm supposed to have and get what I want.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is an incredibly important time, opportunity to make a statement. Steve Hilton, thank you very much, sir.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.